Hi everyone, welcome to the Creative Wandering Duo. My name is Sandra. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I talked with you, and there's been a lot happening in those couple of weeks. So I will start at the beginning and walk you through it. Oh, by the way, Dave made these earrings for me. Aren't they stunning? Made out of copper, partly hammered, and partly not. He's getting quite to be quite the jewelry maker, or whatever you call. But anyway, yeah, he's been making bracelets and all kinds of earrings and lots of fun. Okay, well, last month was my birthday month, and a dear friend of mine made this bag for me, and it is a big bag. There's a pocket here on the outside, which is nice, and let me get into it here. It holds so much that it's almost too heavy to carry. And there's a pocket here on the inside. And she did a beautiful, beautiful job of it all. And it's Harley Davidson fabric, so it kind of suits. I've been using it a lot. Sorry, dropped my mic. Try attaching that a little differently here. There, that might work better. So, yeah, thanks, Chris. I've been enjoying it and using it a lot. That was just one item. And then Chris had a quilt to quilt for a client, and so she's got a mid-arm machine, and I knew that at some places the layers on her quilt were, she had 6 to 8 layers of fabric in it. It was absolutely stunning. I don't have any pictures to show you, and it's not mine to share, but anyway. So I told her, I said, you come over and use Brutus to machine quilt it. So she did, but she needed a practice piece. And so I threw a piece on that I use for setting up the tension on the long arm. And she played on that a little bit. And then I had this one loaded. And she was like, no, wait, no, not doing it. And I said, oh, yeah, you are. So she quilted this one up for me. This is a baby quilt I had made quite a while ago. And the back is just plain. And I said, just get used to how the machine handles. So she did loop-de-loops all over it and got the feel of the machine and did a beautiful job. So I got it bound, and now it's ready to be given as a gift to some lucky baby sometime. So got that one done, thanks to Chris with her help. And it helped her to loosen up and just get going. And then she wasn't quite so fearful of using the machine. After all, it's just a machine. Then she showed me a picture of a block she wanted to make. So I had to play on Electric Quilt 8, and version 8 is what I have. And I figured out how to make the block for her and make a pattern and sent it to her. But of course, I had to try it out. I haven't got these quilted yet, but that center is the block. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I just added a couple of pieces on the end, and I'm going to make this into placemats. So they have to be quilted, and I've got 2 of them. I'm not sure, but they'll probably end up in the camper. So I did that. And then it was like I've been playing with scraps. Oh my goodness. Scraps and scraps and more scraps. So I needed something that had some structure. And I don't usually follow patterns very well. I have to do my own thing. I don't know why. I get partways in and it's like, do your own thing, make it yours. So, but this one I didn't. I love Kim Dale's designs, and I've got several books by Kim Dale and Joe Morton. And um, I've quilted a lot of the quilts that use thimbleberry country themed prints and that, and I think they're just absolutely stunning, but they're a little bit out of my comfort zone. And so I figured Kim Dale does a lot of small quilts, and I figured, I've been picking up charm packs and I want to make some of her quilts, so I did make one. This one measures, I believe, 26.5 inches by 26.5 inches. And it has to be quilted yet, but it is just, look at that. Just look at that. Those little blocks end up being 1 inch, like right here. This little section is a 1 inch patch, and then you got 1 inch patches in here and in here in the sashing, and then in the borders you've got pieces that have 1 inch. And to me it's stunning. And now I have to get it quilted, but I figured, on a bed, these aren't my colors. I like bright, but as a table center or something like that to cover a small area, I like that homespun type look. So I did that. Then, was it last weekend? No, the weekend before. I gotta stop and think. This past weekend I didn't do much. The weekend before, we had a quilting retreat. The Lloydminster Log Cabin Quilters had a quilting retreat, and so I attended it. It is the very first quilting retreat that I have been on where I didn't have to plan everything, and Kathy didn't have to cook, and yeah, Kathy and I put on many, many retreats when I had my shop, and it was so nice just to go. We hauled our camper in, and two of my friends, my rowdy friends, and I stayed in the camper. And yeah, if you wanted to quilt till midnight or 2 in the morning or whatever, you did, and it was so much fun. Our group was responsible for one meal and one cleanup, and other than that, it was quilt till you wilt. So it was great. But we played a couple of games, and I won a prize. And it's from the Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know if they still have these or not, but I have to show it to you. So inside, I thought this is a pretty nice gift. There is a jelly roll, and this is a Riley Blake design by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet is the fabric line. So I don't know how new that is or whatever, but anyway, it's Bee in My Bonnet. And then there is some Wonderfill thread. Like I need more Wonderfill thread. Being a thread teacher for them for many, many, many years, I have a lot of their threads, but hey, it's still thread, and it's just the confetti sample spool, and this is color 101, so it's a white. Nice for piecing. Then I got some clip and bind, and they're the little clips that you put them on. So it's a nice little case of clips, just enough for when you're hand stitching your binding on, if you hand stitch your binding on. And then there is little house pins, and I don't know if you can see that properly. I'll open it up. It's a jar of pins in there. And I think those will make great, they're tiny pins, so I think they'll make great applique pins. I like that. Then there is some Microtex sharp needles from Schmetz, 8012. Those are always handy. We always need new needles. So I guess there's no reason why I can't change my needle for this new project. Then there is a 1/4+ ruler. It's 2 1/4, 2.5. Yeah, it looks like 2.5 inch ruler. And it's by Riley Blake Designs. It's called 1/4+ ruler. Go-to ruler for quilters. Go-to ruler for quilters. Great size. Features a 1/4 inch guide on all sides. Oh yeah, it's got that coloring, so you always know where your 1/4 inch is. Non-slip surface. Added bonus. Trim your dog ears with ease. Right here. There's a corner there. Oh, and on this end too. They have the corners. So perfect travel size, handy to have by your sewing machine, and it would be very handy. It's 8.5 inches long. Would be very handy to have by the sewing machine. Then there is a Busy Bee thread cutter by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. I haven't opened it up, and I guess it has a sticky on it, so it will stick onto your machine or whatever, wherever you want to put that. And then there is a pattern in there, haberdashery quilt pattern. So a sampler by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. Finished size is 46.5 inches by 47.5 inches. So I'm gonna make that. Isn't that cute? And then there is a bee binding holder by Lori Holt. Bee in My Bonnet co.blogspot.com. So I guess if you want to know more on that, you can go to Bee in My Bonnet co.blogspot.com and find out more about that. It's approximately 9 inches by 6 inches. Each holds up to 12 yards of finished binding. Works great to store fabric strips, ribbon, or lace to help you stay organized. Made from high quality molded ABS plastic. Hang on your happy place wall for extra cuteness. That is cute. So, yeah. And that's what was in. I figured that's a pretty good little gift to get. So, I had to share that with you. Then I made a Temu order. I wanted to see what some of these articles are like. A friend of mine has this strip. It's a lighting strip on her sewing machine. So I want to try it. And it's got a USB port to plug in with. And so I'm going to try that. Let's see. There's the lighting strip, LED light strip. And it seemed to put out quite a bit of light, and it was nice. So didn't take up much room in the throat of her machine, so I got to try that one. So I ordered that. Then I seen, for those of us getting a little older, sometimes it's nicer to have things to hang on to. This is a threader. I don't know if you can see the end there. Yeah, there you can see it. It's a threader. So for threading needles. Now they came in a package of 10 from Temu, but unfortunately, this was the package. Like they were well packaged, but unfortunately, there was a hole here in the bottom. And there was a hole in the outer packaging. So I got 7. I didn't get 10. But it wasn't that expensive. I believe they were under $2. So I'm not going to send them back or complain too much. Yeah, 10 pieces, random colors. But I like it that they're so long. I can hold the needle and poke them through, and it works great. Another thing I got was, you've heard of the purple fangs, and there is a purple fang in there. I think there was 5 in this package, again from Temu. And yeah, they work great, and I like the different colors. And they were reasonably priced. So, and another item I grabbed was the tweezers. I figured for pulling threads and stuff, this will work great. I didn't know. I ordered them thinking maybe Dave could use them in his jewelry making, but he said no, they're too light for him. So I'll use them and this one's just straight. I like this curved one for grabbing thread around the needle. So haven't tried them out. And they got nice plastic covers on them. Then I went to a sew day at another friend's house, and I worked on my sampler, and I just about have it done. Just about, not quite. Got all the inside done. Now I'm working on doing this outline around the outside. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I think I'll make it into a cushion or something. I really have enjoyed this process. It's been a lot of fun. So when I get it made up into a cushion, I'll let you know. Anyway, that is what I've been doing. The project I was working on at the quilt retreat was a block of the month from the quilt show with Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms. And it was a Sue somebody. I think she's Australian. Just a minute. I can grab that pattern. And I believe I have 14 more blocks to do. This was the 2020 block of the month. Just before we went, we were in lockdown, I decided to do this. It's by Sue Garman, yeah. So that's what it's going to look like eventually, because I only have to make 14 more blocks like this. So it's a 9 patch and a 9 patch. These are all little individual 9 patches, and those finish off at 3/4 of an inch. So yeah, tiny work. Takes time to do it, and I figure, I've had this sitting for a while now. It's time to get it done. And then I have a bunch of these blocks to finish stitching down, the applique blocks. So I got them all ready for stitching, and I can work on them. Then I can start putting it together. That'll be nice. But that's what I worked on at the retreat the entire time. I took several projects, but this was the only one I worked on. So, and I made progress, which was good. Anyway, that is what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, um, remember to subscribe and share with others and click that like button. It lets YouTube know that there are people watching and it puts it out there a little more. So, yeah, bye for now. And remember to stay real. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying, right, personalities is what I was thinking. But I couldn't, I was a teen name, I couldn't come up with it.
Yep, yep, for sure.
There, now you know what we're up to.